All right, we're still in Sonoma County, and I'm doing one of my favorite things, which is getting to talk to some of the most amazing technology companies in the media and entertainment space, the broadcast space, the AV space. I get to talk to some of the coolest people and in the greatest places. I mean, this is phenomenal here. So I'm going to pivot a little bit. I've got Greg Macchia with Riedel in today to talk to me a little bit more about what's going on with your guys' acquisition of Simply Live.
Yeah, so, my part is I was with Simply Live, so
you were the acquisition.
So
yeah.
I was, yes,
right.
we were the ones that were acquired. So that was, that was really a big step for us. Our technology was always about being software based, being efficient, being very intuitive, kind of changing the very traditional way of the way productions were being done. So that was our approach. We had a lot of positive results there because we do a lot of different things. We do our all-in-one system, live switching, replay. We have an official review system, ISO recording. We do all of these things, and we had a lot of success there. But certainly being acquired by Riedel first, that gives us the, having the acquisition of Riedel being, a technology expert in the industry really just adds, brings us to the next level. And we can already see just, a lot of conversations, a lot of projects that were going on. Now it goes to a different level, being part of Riedel.
Well, it certainly opens up a client base like, that were big Riedel Ravid fans, right? Using the rest of their infrastructure technology to say, hey, this is a perfect add-in into that space.
Well, exactly. I mean, when you think of Riedel first thing, and Rick talked about it, it's about audio comms. Yeah. But when you really look at Riedel and what they do, they of course do the comms part in the audio, but they have video infrastructure. Yeah. And now with the Simply Live piece, they have live production. So essentially, they almost are covering everything. So, and bringing that all together is really, you start to realize Riedel is almost a one-stop shop, but really
it's very
what's
end-to-end in terms of the total package.
And it's the expertise. It's nothing is perfect. It's about the technology, and it's always changing. And really, I think that's what Riedel brings to the table is just that knowledge, working with the customer, helping them through the technology and making the right decisions. Again, you touched on 2110 IP SDI. The cloud, for us, what we do in software, a lot of what we're doing is the future is cloud, but we've done live productions in cloud. So that maybe feels like a revolution, but for us, it's about evolving the technology and giving these options.
And I feel like we're at a place now with all these technologies being ubiquitous and stable and efficient. You can't sort of pen yourself into, I only do this one flavor of video, or I only do this one. You've got to be flexible enough to be able to support IP, baseband, all the different flavors of IP, and be able to say, hey, look, we're your, in order to be that one-stop shop, you've got to support everything at this point.
Well, yes, and it's about, look, the traditional way of doing things, very hard, where a lot of people, it costs a lot of money. And that's fine when you're talking about Super Bowls, the NFLs, MLBs, et cetera. But there is so much more content. The consumer, second screens, they're looking for so much. And if you, think about all the streaming platforms and, if we just focus on sports, so many more sports are available to you out there. But to produce those in the traditional way, not cost effective, because here your audiences are smaller, so you have to manage with that. And that for us is where the Simply Live solutions, we try to fit in. But the key there is we don't want to do it at a low level. So it's about not sacrificing on the editorial, the story, the look and feel is the same as you would do on your high-end production.
But I feel like there's got to be something to the name Simply, though. I mean, Simply Live, what was the original process there? Was it about simplifying the experience or the hardware? I mean, how did you guys get to that name?
It's all of those things. Can we, can we simplify what live is? You think about live production, it's very stressful. You don't know what's going to happen in a live event. So for us, it's can we simplify? Can it be more efficient? So not only from the architecture, so again, being software based from the core, we had the vision. We wanted to see, hey, the standard's always changing. So when we go to IP or these other sorts of formats, that we'll be able to easily adapt the software to do that. As we go to cloud, when we started in 2016, cloud was, we could already do cloud at that time, but now we see, we start to get to that point. So there's the deployment part of it, smaller smaller infrastructure required, more cost effective, and then for the people that drive it, it's oftentimes it's a director or replay producer that sit in front of our system and do the production. So, typically they're talking to a TD or a replay operator that are very skilled, but they're the ones that can sit in the seat for us, touch screen, very intuitive. And oftentimes, we will train people the day of, sit with them for 45 minutes, 1 hour, and they can start to put a production on air.
Well, and it also lowers the cost of ownership, because if you think about some of the other players in the replay space, they're overly complicated, they require a lot of training, and and then it creates a very expensive environment for hiring operators. Right? And this ability for an operator to come into a Simply system and be able to sit down and use it in a matter of minutes, that's a game changer for some of these facilities that are trying to get up and running, right? That don't have the budget to hire this huge staff.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what's unique, with the remotion and just the replay solution from Riedel, is that we are unique in that we can cover the wide range. We have replay applications that we do at the high end. We'll call it the tier 1 sports. Maybe we don't do the full production, but we're starting to, to do the Supermo higher frame rate replays or the add-on replays. So we start at the high end, and then with remotion, we really get into that, let's say, entry level, very cost conscious customer. So that range is, I think, unique in replay, and that's what we wanted to look at. We looked at it and said, hey, we've got a great replay solution. Why does that entry level have to sacrifice? Why can't we give the same thing? And also, so those operators learning at that entry level, they're learning a product that they will see in the higher end. So it's
let's talk about the market for a second, because if you really look at the portfolio, it screams sports. Right? Yes. We've got the replay, the review, all these components that are really dialed in for sports. But you guys are starting to become way more than just sports environments. Talk to me about some of the other environments that you're starting to find customers pull you into.
Look, it's when you think about, live sports, that's kind of the intense high end. So when doing that, it kind of sets the bar. But if you think about what we do, we're a recording and playback engine. Yeah. So if you're talking about corporate, house of worship, the AV market, these all record and playback content. So even for remotion, the fact that the UI is very intuitive. Somebody just recording feeds coming in, if you're talking about a house of worship, want to set different delays and they don't have that experienced operator, touchscreen, very easy to do, make clips, bring promos in. So yes, we have all those different areas that we get into, not just in sports. We have applications. Our video review is, again, multi-angles, clipping. It could be used for, maybe, events, a lot of cameras, you just want to clip and send to...
And I guess kind of the illustration is all of these things are events. When you look at corporate, house of worship, all these organizations, they're still events, which is really the tenet of Riedel's story in the end, right? Is we are an event-based company. Exactly. That's how they started, that's where they're at, and that's why you guys make perfect mix into that. Because all these environments are really just live events. Right? Yes. They just stay in stadiums or, not stadiums effectively.
Exactly.
What's next for Riedel? What's next for this line of Riedel? Where is Simply Live going next now that it's got fresh coat of paint, a new name, and a great partner?
Well, it's what's exciting is you see the different aspects of what Riedel does and you see, hey, how does this all integrate together? So really it's taking these different pieces, the audio side of it, the video infrastructure, what we do, and really evolving that and making it very seamless how do we integrate comms into what we do today? Instead of having it as separate pieces, is there a way that we integrate all that together, and all of those pieces? So it's really, and other technologies, I'm sure Thomas maybe, in a little while may bring a different piece in, but again, it's the vision. It's having that vision and all these different pieces in the company kind of fit together. It's part of the puzzle. Yeah. So it's adding a couple more pieces and just
building out the ecosystem.
Just building it out. Exactly. Yeah. Yes.
Phenomenal. Well, we're really excited to see where you guys are going and for a great year. Obviously, you can catch Riedel at NAB coming up in just a couple of months. Great chance to see them there and a few other trade shows. So listen, Greg, thanks for being here. Always exciting to hear what's next. All right, this has been another episode of, well, I don't know what we're calling this right now, but this is just me getting to talk with great manufacturers and hear about what's going on in the technology space at NSM 2024. We'll see you on the next episode.